I used to think I missed my window. I'm building anyway. This is In the Margins. And if you're new here, hi, I'm Magnolia, a Catholic wife, homeschooling mom, and graphic designer building an editorial studio during the margins of my day. This episode, I want to talk about starting over. Starting over is a heavy phrase. It carries weight because it means something is ending and something unknown is about to begin. And that brings so many questions. Will I enjoy this? Will I succeed? How will I manage and carry all that I'm already doing? And most importantly, will I still be me? And the answer is no. The version of you that got you here cannot go with you into your next season. And most of us resist that. We want to carry our same versions into new territory. And when we do that, it diminishes the very growth that new season was meant to produce. I've been wrestling with this same thing for the last 2 years. How do I let the old me die so that the new me can be born? How do I shift my identity into the one that will better serve me? And the only answer I come up with is a line from scripture: I must decrease so he can increase. When John was saying these words about his ministry, I apply them to myself. My goal is to become more Christ-like for myself, my husband, my children, my business, and any woman who encounters me on these channels. And for that to happen, Magnolia must decrease. My tendency to hide, to shrink, to fight back must decrease so that Christ's love, compassion, gentleness, growth, trust, and faith must increase. That is an ego death. It means letting go of the past hurt, past failures, criticisms, doubts. I don't know if you knew this, but Christ never talked about the past. He only lived in the present. It also means confronting the habits that are keeping you stuck. Staying up late, consuming media that doesn't serve you, eating food that doesn't serve you, not moving when your body craves movement, staying in bed longer than you really want to, carrying excuses instead of your cross. When Jesus told us to pick up our cross and follow him, he meant it. We're meant to take our old selves and nail them on the cross in Calvary. We are not fighting outside forces. We are fighting our own vices, our own wounds, our own stories that we keep telling to ourselves over and over and over again. And the hardest part of starting over is not knowing if you will succeed. How can you? All you can do is go all in, pray over it, and tell everybody that you know. Most of us don't, and that leads to failure. When I launched this series, I did something different. I told everyone I could think of, and that told me something really important about myself. I was no longer afraid of being seen. I was no longer afraid of being criticized, of being judged, of being questioned, of being seen as different than what they knew me in their season. We hide our projects because we're afraid of being seen, afraid of being judged. But there's another side to that hiding. It also means that we don't bring people into our successes, into our failures. There's no one to lift us up, no one to grieve with us when we fail. And then we wonder where all the support is. I said what I said. This time, I did the opposite. I told as many people as I could, I want this to succeed. And for that to happen, people need to know I want this to have impact and to be helpful. And it can't do that if it's hidden. We are not called to hide our light under a bushel. We are called to light it and let it light up the room. You may be wondering by now, isn't this supposed to be about a studio build? And it is, but before you can build something new, the old has to be removed all the way down to the foundations, because if you don't, the new will be crooked, just like the old. If you don't understand what has brought you to your current moment, you will keep repeating the same mistakes. You will keep wandering in the desert, as my husband likes to say. My guiding verse for the last 2 years has been, be not conformed to the patterns of this world, but be renewed by the transforming of your mind. The irony is, I have not been transforming my mind. I have kept bringing the same criticisms, doubts, fears, worries, and limitations into every single season and wondering why nothing has changed. I've been asking God to bless my efforts when I haven't been giving him new efforts to bless. And the thing is, I'm not doing this introspection for fun. My family deserves a different future than the one we're currently walking towards. The Magnolia that has gotten me here has to die, not because she isn't enough, but because the person I am becoming requires more than she can carry. I invite you to do the same introspection. Audit what isn't working, what are you hiding from, where are you running, What stories are you telling yourself that simply aren't true? Stop running, stop hiding, stop lying to yourself. Tell me in the comments, what's one thing you keep bringing into every season that God has already told you to leave behind? Because you and I both know you can't build a future carrying the old. And finally, next week, what the first quarter actually taught me about building. See you next week in the margins.